I'd like to start out by saying that I am proud to be a part of a community that is so ready and willing to come together and advocate for change. As I look out today, I see the faces of family members, friends, peers, and teachers, the bright faces of community members of all ages and backgrounds. We all come from different walks of life and inevitably hold varying beliefs and political ideologies. But today we stand together because of one common goal and one shared value. We believe that students should never again lose their lives while pursuing their education. And we are ready to fight for the future that embodies this belief. The March for Our Lives mission statement declares, school safety is not a political issue. There cannot be two sides to doing everything in our power to ensure the lives and the futures of children who are at risk of dying, when they should be learning, playing, and growing. Student safety is not debatable. 187,000 students have been exposed to gun violence in schools since Columbine in 1999. Since then, there has been an average of 10 school shootings a year, and just 3 months into this year, there has already been 11. These numbers are astonishing, they are unacceptable, and they are nothing short of an epidemic. Yes. However, following the Parkland massacre, a new dialogue was created. One that called out our country's toxic gun culture, one that focused on the remembrance of the victims and the strength of the survivors. And very importantly, one that reevaluated the role that youth can play in politics. We hear a lot about investing in the youth of this country because we are the future. We are the ones who are passed on the torch and told to right the wrongs of the generations before us. Wrongs including issues of climate change and national debt and complex foreign relations. But for the issue of gun violence, we cannot wait. We are forced to yank this elusive torch from the hands of those who have failed to protect us. Students are not too young to be the victims of gun violence, therefore we are not too young to speak out against it. Gun violence has become an issue of young people because of the decades of stagnant policy, the decades of neglect by our representatives, and the decades of silence, all barring us from the fundamental protection that we so clearly deserve. I am here to say we cannot be the generation that saves this nation's economy or fixes our foreign policy or preserves our environment if we are not living to see graduation. Therefore, in order to achieve this future that we dream of, investing in our youth must become synonymous with investing in student and public safety, with investing in policy that protects people over guns. So help us, stand with us, support us, as we declare never again to the bloodshed that has stained this country. As we demand with every breath from our lawmakers to enact policy that ensures a safe future, a future that begins with gun control. Today we march, and in November we vote. Because we can no longer tolerate this fear that surrounds us in every avenue of society. The fear of losing our lives in school or at a concert or a movie or any public event. This constant panic is a result of the reoccurring devastation of gun violence, and this deep-rooted pain has become our nation's narrative. But today we say enough. And begin a new chapter, a chapter that future generations will read about in history books that tell the story of a movement that was started and led by students. A movement that finally cured this nation's epidemic of gun violence. A a chapter titled Never Again.